When you get the leaves changing, they're falling, a lot more of the colors pop when you're out here. We've had a great fall as far as weather goes. So I think from that perspective, it's really good, and that'll help us with the spring.
So I think when we started this, we were all in shorts and t-shirts, and here we are. Winter's approaching. The team, NMP, our team, everyone involved here has really done a phenomenal job of getting us to this point. You know, we've been ahead of schedule this entire time. But Mother Nature is undefeated, and she's showing it again. So we're going to keep grinding and see if we can get this thing to the finish line this year. But you know, it's been a very dry season, perfect weather for construction. A little tougher on the growing part, but you can see here as we stand on number 1, you know, everything's coming in really nicely. We verified all the greens pretty aggressively. Everything's held up to the test of that, and but we just got hit with a 2-inch rainstorm, and you know, it's kind of nice going around and seeing all the new infrastructure we've put in is really working. Great representation to the membership here of where your money's going, right into the infrastructure. The better billy bunker liner that we put in here. Years past, if we would have got this 2-inch rainstorm, our entire staff would be out here for an entire day pushing sand back up, all the washouts. There'd be water sitting in the low parts of the bunkers, and you know, the days of us spending an entire day in these bunkers is over. So I think the product speaks for itself already. We're standing here just below the first green at our 24-inch basin that's here, kind of taking in all the new infrastructure that we put in, watching the water flow out after this 2-inch rainstorm. And one of the cool new technologies that we put in here was what's called a siphon drain, which we place about 700 yards down to fairway, so roughly 800 yards from where we're at right now. And what it does is it creates a siphon effect. Normal drain pipe needs at least 1% gravity slope to move water. With siphon drainage, you can run this uphill, downhill, back uphill, right, left, and the water's moving through siphon technology. With a property like ours that's so flat, we were having issues figuring out how we were going to drain some of these areas. And calling Turf Drainage of America in, they did a full assessment of the property, and you can already see the benefits of this product that we've put in here. As we make our way through the front 9, there's a lot of changes through the first 9 holes that we'll highlight that I think are going to have a lasting effect through this entire project. Starting here on number 2, you know, we have the new addition of the fairway bunker here in the landing area for your tee shot, and then also the addition of the 2 bunkers in the layup area for your second and third shot. In the original plan, the original drawings from Robert Trent Jones, this bunker was placed up on the right side of the hole in the mound there. Our philosophy was to move it down here because your best line of play is on the left side of this fairway to get around the pond and to the green. So we decided to move it to the left side instead of implementing it on the right side. And then again, the bunkers down in your landing area, more to just tighten it up a little bit, make you think about your second shot. We still have the pond on the right side of the hole, but now you have the 2 bunkers on the left. So, you know, it's kind of a dicey shot now to where you can't just hit a hybrid down there like you used to. Here we are on number 3. My personal favorite hole since I've gotten here, and we've made it a lot better from a playability standpoint. You know, the front of the screen was very bottlenecked, and it was a tight shot getting up into this green, and it's already a small green. So we really opened up the front of these greens. We took the sand dams out of the front of the greens, you know, from 50 years of top dress, and we built up a little mound here in all the front of the greens. So we really lost all of our false fronts and the ability for water to move off the greens above ground. You can obviously see the bunkers, right, a lot closer to the greens. They're very tight. Expanded this green a little bit on both sides, but the biggest thing here is this kicker that we put in on the back right, and we added the runoff area on the back left to really make you think of, you know, if you want to drive this hole, you want to be aggressive, now you got to think. We're here on the 5th green where we did a pretty substantial green expansion, front left, back left, and then we did some work to the back contour a little bit to gain some pin positions. Rebuilt the bunkers. This is a green that's always an issue in the summertime. It's very stagnant down here, so adding the greens drainage here has already paid dividends. The greens drainage has not stopped running since we put it in roughly a month and a half ago. We have the addition of the new tee up on the hill here. Nice little 95-yard shot for all the tees. We'll move them around. All tees have been expanded from 18 feet wide to 30 feet wide. So pretty big expansion there. And then the biggest thing we did here was we wanted to marry the pond up with the green. And in the front here, there was so much meat where we couldn't really get the pond expanded anymore. We added a lot of short grass here. It'll all be mowed at approach height. We added Pro Vista, a low mow bluegrass, which will be mowed at about a ½ inch. So next year when you come up short, where you used to be in the rough, you're gonna be at the drop area. So it'll be a nice memorable shot. I know we're gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but it's gonna be one of those holes where people talk about number 5 at Crag Burn. What an unbelievable hole that is. Here we are on number 8, where we've really enhanced this tee shot off the tee for all members. Before we had the 2 bunkers up into the mound here, wide open on the right. You can just kind of hit away. Where we've really brought this left bunker in, added the 2 original bunkers, which were on the original drawings, on the right here to really make you think, you know, what do you want to hit here? Where do you want to be? These bunkers are going to save a lot of time. A lot of people would hit it over there. You'd be in the fescue looking for your ball. So I think it's going to save some time, but it's also going to make you think, you know, what the right move is off the tee here.
We had planned to try to have people be able to play on temporary greens and such, and even members that play like every day. I mean, we have some members that play a lot of golf. They kind of came up to us like, please don't open it. Like, we want it to be able to grow in. We spent a lot of money to do this. This is kind of what the next 50 years look like. Let's not rush it. We have never done a project like the other side Crag Burn since it was built by RTJ. So it was something that we wanted to do, and let's just make sure we do it right. Our locker room burned down, unfortunately, so it wasn't necessarily something we were looking to do. But once it happened, you know, we put a committee together, and that committee's job was to kind of go through a design. We hired an architect. We actually hired an interior designer as well, and she helped with kind of some of the finishing touches to make it as natural as it looked before, to try to make sure we matched that, and then we made some improvements. Walking in here, now that it's done, you know, we just put the carpet in, so a lot of members probably won't see it, the finished product, till next spring, and I think they're gonna be like, wow, this is really cool. The guys before us were great stewards of the club, and some of our younger members, you know, we just look at it as like, this is gonna be our home for the next 40, 50 years. Every time you can do something like this, it just helps to build the brand of Crag Burn.